Hey, welcome back to Sports Around the 313 with Triple G. And as today is Friday the 13th, and a lot of people would say, why would you film an episode on Friday the 13th? Well, let me tell you why real quick. Number 13 is my lucky number, so let's get it on and start this episode out. All right, listen, I want to talk, and I know baseball season's technically over for the Tigers, but the playoffs are going on right now. You've got the Houston Astros. In the American League, they're going to play the New York Yankees to see who goes to the World Series. And obviously, I'm pulling for Houston. Two reasons. One, our good old buddy Justin Verlander has a 5-0 record with him since he's been traded to them. He's doing real well in the playoffs. And Cameron Maybin as well is doing very well with the Houston Astros. So I hope Houston can get through the Yankees and make it to the World Series. And then on the other side is the National League, which the Cubs just upset the Washington team yesterday. And they're going to play the Dodgers to see who goes to the World Series there. Who do I pick there? Well, you know what? I don't really care. As long as Houston makes it in the American League and Houston wins the whole thing. And I want to give a shout out to Justin Verlander because, you know, he was traded so quick and he left town so quick and he really didn't have to say a lot to anybody, his teammates. He said a couple of goodbyes, but I want to wish Justin Verlander the best. I want to thank him for all the years that he pitched his butt off here and did a hell of a job. And, you know, it's just, I hope he wins the World Series because he tried twice with the Tigers and couldn't get it done. So I hope and pray that he gets this thing done and wins the World Series. So Justin Verlander, shout out to you, and I hope you make it, and I hope you win the World Series, and best of luck the rest of your career. All right, I want to talk a little bit more about baseball. Al Avila, the general manager, recently the season ended for the Tigers, and he fired or let go, or for a kinder word, did not extend a new contract to Brad Ausmus, who was the manager. You know, a lot of people were up and down as far as their feelings about Brad Ausmus and the Tigers. But you know what? I mean, he made some bad decisions here or there, but all managers do that as well. But I think that he was dealt a really bad hand in cards because Al Avila, he signed a lot of free agents. A lot of them didn't pan out. They weren't worth a shit, okay? So Al Avila didn't really do his manager any good. You know, and I think Brad Ausmus is going to pop up somewhere else, maybe the Boston Red Sox as a manager because they need a new manager now. And it's going to be interesting to see. You know, I think for the most part, for what he had, Brad Ausmus, as far as the players and the injuries and everything, I think he did a pretty decent job, all things considered. I like the guy. I think he's going to be a manager down the road for many years to come. And I think he learned a lot here in the Tigers organization over 4 years. Now, the Al Avila is looking for a new manager, okay? So let's hope he picks somebody that can work with not only veterans, but young up-and-coming rookies, because Tigers have a lot of those, and rebuilding-wise, they're talking about 4 or 5 years to rebuild, which is going to take forever. And Al Avila, why the hell didn't they fire him? Chris Ilitch, come on, step it up, buddy. Get rid of this guy. He didn't make very many good decisions at all for the Tigers organization, and he's still around. So that one, I don't understand. Anyway, I'm going to go to sleep on baseball now. I don't even want to talk about it again until next spring training. Goodbye, baseball. Hey, let's get into the NFL, the Lions, okay? Now, you know, the Lions are 3-2 right now. They started out really well, and then they had that game against Atlanta when the referees blew the call. They should have been 4-0. Okay, now I think they go into New Orleans on Sunday. They play the Saints and Drew Brees. I'm hoping that they can put it together, even though I've heard different rumors that Matt Stafford was injured. He injured his ankle against the Carolina Panthers last week. Let's hope. He's a tough kid. He plays through injuries. Let's hope the Lions can really do it to New Orleans. New Orleans has no defense. So if they can get our offense rolling and Jim Bob Cooter, the offensive coordinator, can get a good game plan going, I think the Lions can come out of this and be 4-2, and let's hope so. Good luck to them. Let's talk about the Red Wings. Hey, look, the Red Wings went through their preseason, their training camp. The regular season is upon us. They're already 3 wins and 1 loss, okay? They've only played 4 games. I'm not going to get real excited because if you guys remember last year in the beginning of hockey season, the Red Wings started out 6-2, and everybody was excited, like, oh my God, we're gonna make the playoffs again, maybe in the Stanley Cup Finals or whatever. Well, you know what happened? They never even made the playoffs. The last half of the season, they took a dump, and you know, starting out 6-2, but they ended up not even making the playoffs after 25 years. So I'm not going to get real excited. Although I tell you what, there are some players that they brought up, like Martin Frick and some of these other guys. Mike Green has, like, I think 12 assists in 4 games or 10 assists. I like what I'm seeing. Okay, I think they had a good training camp. These guys are coming back. They're pissed off because they didn't make the playoffs last year. Zetterberg's the captain. He's going to push these young guys. And I got a feeling, and I'm not going to go way out on a limb, but I got a feeling they're going to make it back to the playoffs. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I feel real good about the team. And tonight they play the Las Vegas team. That's the new NHL team in Vegas, and it's going to be real interesting to see how that goes because that team is 3-0 right now, and the Red Wings are 3-1. So let's hope that the Red Wings continue to have success. Let's move on to basketball. NBA, the Detroit Pistons. They're wrapping up training camp. The preseason is on them right now. They have one more preseason game. I believe it's tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. I like what I'm seeing. All the different guys that Stan Van Gundy signed in the offseason, I'm liking what they're doing in training camp. Andre Drummond, here's a revelation. He can throw and make free throws now. In training camp, he has been awesome at the line. He goes to the line and he's hardly missed any. So I don't know what he did in the offseason, but maybe the free throw angel came down and sprinkled some angel dust on top of Andre Drummond, and now he can throw free throws and make them. So let's hope that this continues through the season and he has a good year. Reggie Jackson is coming back from that injury last year, and they're kind of easing up on him in training camp, trying not to work him too hard. I hope he comes back as well. Ish Smith is kind of like the starting guard right now, and I like Ish Smith. I talked about him last year. I think he'll do well if Reggie can't go. But the season starts at the new arena, Little Caesars Arena, downtown Detroit. They play the Charlotte Hornets, I believe, in their first game coming up next week. I think it's Wednesday that they start. So let's give a shout out to the Pistons. I hope that all the moves Stan Van Gundy made and some of these young players he drafted over the last 2 years are going to really start to come into their own and do well. I wish them all the luck in the world. And I think, the Red Wings and the Pistons didn't make the playoffs last year. So I think that they will both make the playoffs this year. Again, I don't know how far they're going to go, but at least get your foot in the door, and then anything can happen once you hit the playoffs. So let's see what happens. And let me jump to college football for a minute. University of Michigan started out like a bang. Boy, they were rolling along. All of a sudden, Wilton Spike got hurt, big-time injury, probably going to be out for the rest of the season. I heard he had something in his back, was fractured or vertebrae or something, so he's out for the year. Now they bring in John Acorn. John Acorn comes in. He was a starter at Houston, then he transferred to Michigan. Very qualified, good quarterback, but I don't know what happened last week against Michigan State. They lost at home in Ann Arbor. How the hell do you lose a game like that at home in Ann Arbor with 100,000+ fans and you blow it? And the week before that, Acorn threw interceptions. So I don't know what the hell the answer is, and I don't know what Jim Harbaugh is going to do. I mean, Jim Harbaugh is a coach, but he's also a former quarterback and a damn good one. So I'm thinking if they play Indiana this week and they lose or barely make it through that team, Acorn's going to come out. You got to put that Brandon. I can't even think of his first name. They got so many quarterbacks that are underneath that are just young freshmen or whatever. But Brandon Peters maybe is his name. Bring him in, give him a shot, see what happens. They can't fall too far behind simply because now that they lost Michigan State game, they still have to get through Penn State. Good luck with that. They're ranked number 3 in the country. Ohio State, they never beat Ohio State. So there's 2 losses, damn well. I mean, I want them to beat them, but I don't think they're going to get through them. So it's going to be an interesting year for Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines. I love the hell out of them. And I want to also congratulate Michigan State football because, hey, they beat Michigan in Ann Arbor in their own home. And Michigan State brought it. They brought it. I'm telling you, unbelievable. So, all in all, let's see what happens with college football. Ohio State does have a loss. Penn State does not have a loss, so they're technically the best right now in the Big Ten. And then you have college football or college basketball starting out. Tom Izzo's team supposedly is one of the biggest and best teams he's had in a long time. And University of Michigan's got a great team this year, so it's going to be a lot of good basketball coming up in college. Let's wish them all the luck in the world. And this is the month of Halloween. Okay, so I want to wish everybody an early happy Halloween from my pumpkin friend here to you and from me to you. And let's hope that we have a great October sports-wise in the Motor City. Let's hope that all our teams win. No losses. We don't need losses. We need to build up and get all these wins to make everybody feel happy come Monday mornings when they go to work. Okay, people can put a smile on their face. Everybody won. The Lions won. Red Wings won. Pistons won. Let's see what happens. Listen, I want to give a shout out to my daughter again, who is helping me film this, and she does all the work behind the scenes. She's doing a great job. I want to thank her again. And you know, it's hard to believe that we're already into the fall season, and believe it or not, Christmas is upon us before you know it. So let's see what happens. Go Sports, go Motor City, all the great teams. Now get the hell out of here.